Hey everybody, today is an exciting day. We're going on a field trip. We're going to see my friend Kerinia. She's a little ways away from me, a couple hours, but still in the Eastern Washington area. And we're going to get together today and see some of her cute little critters, and she's going to teach us how to make an easy entry-level cheese. Super excited to share this one with you guys.
Hi, I'm Kerinia Townsend. Welcome to our farm. Today we're going to be making farm cheese. So we have two different milks. We're going to be working with cow's milk as well as goat's milk. So each of these are going to be using the same method, but the end result can be a little bit different. Cow's milk ends up being farm cheese and goat's milk ends up being chèvre.
Okay, what are the differences other than the name? Are there noticeable taste or texture profile differences between the two?
The way they end up cooking out, which is what happens, they do end up with a little bit different texture.
Okay.
But the process is the same.
Process is the same. So what all do we need other than milk?
Just vinegar, one ingredient.
Some kind of acid. Also, you mentioned lemon juice. We could do vinegar or lemon.
Vinegar or lemon.
Could you also do another citrus, like grapefruit or orange juice, or have you experimented with anything like that?
You can do another one. It has to have a high enough profile though, so grapefruit would work, oranges would not work.
Would not. Okay, good to know. Okay, so what's the first thing that we're gonna do?
So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to get our milk into a pot. We're gonna start heating it to get it up to temperature. It has to get to 175 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And once it reaches that temperature, then we add in our acid.
All right, let's do it.
So the cow's milk, I just always make sure that I am shaking it up so that the cream is intermixed in here before I pour it in. So with cow's milk, raw cow's milk, the cream will naturally separate and rise to the top. So that's why we shake it up beforehand. But with goat's milk, it is naturally homogenized, and so there is no need to shake or stir or anything. It can just be poured straight into the pot.
Is there a little bit of temperature range that's acceptable, or does it need to be pretty darn precise?
It's recommended 175, but if it gets to 160, that's okay. I've even done it at 150 and it still works.
What if you get too hot?
Too hot can just end up scalding, and then you get off flavors.
Okay.
It's not very good.
So 175 or slightly less.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're at 175, and now it's time to take our milk off the heat and add in our vinegar. Again, this is a 1/4 cup of vinegar that we pour into the milk. Give it a quick stir just to make it's getting all of the milk. And now we're gonna let it sit and rest for about 10 minutes.
Are there any noticeable changes we should be seeing right away?
There is changes right away. You can already see that it is starting to form and separate into curds and whey. The curds being the white clusters and the whey being that kind of yellowish tinged liquid. So we are at the time where we can strain off our cheese. This will be poured through a cheesecloth and a strainer to hold it. I am not going to save the whey today, but that is always an option, as you can save your whey and make something else out of it. So we're just going to encourage the process of it straining out by grabbing the corners of the cloth, just lifting. You can see the excess whey is draining off. And some people like to tie it up and they can hang it. I just like to get this initial part where it's really, really drippy out, and then I'll just set it right back into the colander and let it do its thing. You can let it sit for up to an hour. The longer you let it sit, the drier and more crumbly the cheese is gonna be. So I will probably let this rest there about 20 minutes. So with the cheese from the cow's milk, I will tie it off and hang it, simply because there is more than with the goat's cheese, and it will definitely benefit from being hung to drain off.
And how long are we gonna let this one hang?
This would probably hang for 10 to 15 minutes again. So we have our goat's cheese now, or chèvre.
Yum.
And it's perfect. It's nice and soft, creamy looking. And at this point, we're just gonna add some salt and our herbs to give it some more flavor.
Okay, and any particular amount of salt or just kind of to taste?
To taste.
To taste.
Yes.
Okay.
To taste. So just sprinkle a little on there.
And then we're doing some fresh thyme.
We're using fresh thyme.
What other herbs might be good here?
Ooh, chives,
Yum.
cilantro even, oregano.
Yum. Do herbs need to be fresh or would dry herbs work?
Dry herbs work well.
Just need to use a little bit more to get the same flavor impact?
Probably, and I would say if you use dry herbs, incorporate them and then let the cheese sit so that they can kind of
rehydrate.
Yeah,
Okay.
then you'll get the most flavor out of it.
Okay. Good tip.
It's ready.
Okay, what is the best way to eat this?
I mean, I like it sprinkled over a salad, but some
Yum.
people
Kinda
really
like feta.
Yes.
Nice.
You can also put it on crackers. That's how my kids really enjoy it, is just spreading it on crackers and eating it as is.
Crackers, sourdough toast. Delicious. I bet it would be really good on a sandwich too, actually.
Definitely.
Okay, so lots of delicious ways to enjoy it.
Yes.
And that took maybe a total of an hour to make, like start to finish, with not very much hands-on time. So
Right.
definitely a great beginner cheese. And then how do we store this and how long will it store?
You can definitely roll it up into a log. That's the most popular way you'll see it, is it rolled up into a log, wrapped in saran wrap, stick it in the fridge. It's good there for 7 to 10 days.
Kerinia does not have a YouTube channel yet, but she's working on it. And she is really active on her Instagram page. So I'm going to link her Instagram information in the video description. You guys definitely, if you're on Instagram, want to go check her out and follow her, and she will update if she ever does start that YouTube channel. She shares lots of wonderful information about raw milk, sourdough, some great nourishing cooking recipes. She shared an awesome tongue taco recipe that has stuck with me. It was so good the way she taught it and described it. So she's definitely a great resource to follow.
If anyone is interested in finding raw milk local to you so that you can make things like fresh farm cheese, go ahead and check out, it's called realmilk.com. It will find the closest seller or distributor to your area so that you can find raw milk.
Thank you guys again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.